You're watching Coping with COVID-19 with Chris Manners. Today's special guest is Principal Anastasia Klafter.
Hi, I'm Chris Manners, and you're watching Coping with COVID-19. Today, my guest is Anastasia Klafter. She's the principal of Independence High School here in San Francisco, and we're going to talk about how the pandemic has affected our school community. Ms. Klafter, welcome to the show.
Hi, Chris. Thank you.
I understand that our students and teachers have adopted video conferencing and distance learning tools to be able to continue studying remotely, and this is clearly new for everyone. Do you have some suggestions for students and perhaps their parents that could help them manage this new approach?
I think the best advice I can give students and parents is to really be gentle on yourselves during this time. The thing we really don't want to do is increase stress and anxiety amongst our students because we know it's such an uncertain, scary time aside from the work. So while we are engaging in distance learning and we're providing work and projects for students to engage in, mental health of our students and their well-being and safety is really at the forefront of our minds. And so we're asking parents to keep an eye on their kids and also asking kids to speak up and let us know if they're having trouble, if they need to talk to someone, if they need to take a break or they need more time to do work, because that's really what's most important for us.
Right. I sense that some teachers might be having a hard time adjusting as well. What would you say to them?
Well, I think our faculty was really lucky in that we were already utilizing Google Classroom in all of our classes. So the switch from in-person to online was not as extreme as it may have been for some other faculties and some other schools. That said, most of us had never engaged in video conferencing or done any sort of daily online lesson planning. So I think the same thing I say to parents and students, I say to teachers, is to just be gentle and, give yourself space and know it's okay to make mistakes and it's okay if you're not perfect. And we're all sort of learning and doing at the same time. So that can also be anxiety provoking, and that can be hard for teachers that are used to being really good at what they do and knowing exactly what to say and how to do it every day, are now sort of grappling with new technology. And they're finding that students don't work the same way online that they do in person.
Are there concerns about college admissions for high school seniors and juniors?
I think at first there was a lot of sort of confusion and anxiety for our juniors and seniors about colleges. And now that the UC system and the CSU system have come out with some guidance, and we understand that, the SAT and the ACT tests won't be required for the next year. We know that universities have already agreed to accept credit, no credit, or pass, no pass grades, and that they are looking at students across the country, knowing that we're in this sort of unprecedented situation. Now that we've gotten some guidance and clarity around that, I think students are feeling a lot more comfortable. For our current seniors, most of them had already gotten their college acceptances in February and March. So those things shouldn't be changing that much. For juniors, now they know that they have to sort of step it up for the next year because the grades that they're getting this semester might not be letter grades. They might just be pass, no pass, or credit, no credit. But it seems from everything that I've read and heard that the universities are working really closely with school districts to make sure that no student is adversely affected by the pandemic, because it is sort of a universal experience for all students.
Indeed. I've heard that some kids are worried they may have to make up the work or retake the whole year. How likely are those scenarios, and how will grades be assigned for this semester?
Well, San Francisco Unified has made a decision through the Board of Ed that we'll be assigning credit, no credit for our 6th through 12th graders. And that means that it's basically they will either receive credit, full credit for the class, or they won't receive credit for a class based on the work that they do. And that goes into a GPA as neutral, so it shouldn't raise or lower any specific student's GPA. It'll just give them credit towards graduation. From what I can tell, California has been pretty clear that no student will have to retake this year, though as educators, we do acknowledge there'll be a little bit of catch-up happening in the fall.
Right. Have your students had a variety of different experiences during this pandemic?
Yes, I would say definitely. Our school serves a really diverse group of kids. We have students from every zip code in the city, basically, and students from all sorts of backgrounds and socioeconomic statuses. So, on one hand, some kids have their own MacBook and they have high-speed Wi-Fi, and it's no problem for them to hop on a Zoom call or get their Google Docs turned in. And then we have a lot of families living in situations where they might not have Wi-Fi, so we're delivering hotspots, or they do have a device, but it's being shared among several siblings, or the parents using it during the day, and the kids only have a certain amount of time that they can engage. So, something that the teachers have talked about being mindful of, and I'm definitely being mindful of as a principal, is that our students are in various situations and we can't assume anything about their access and their ability to do work right now. For some of them, they're caring for siblings or they're caring for a grandma living at home. Many of them have family members affected by COVID, and so they're in a space where they're really just trying to take care of those around them. And academics are sort of on the back burner, and for right now, that's okay. We sort of have to accept that and support them in whatever way they need.
Yeah, I understand. Have you been able to provide any technical assistance to your students or faculty?
Yes, the school district has hotspots, so we've been delivering Chromebooks since closure. I've personally delivered about 50 Chromebooks to students, and now we're getting hotspots, which are Wi-Fi devices that utilize cell phone coverage in an area. So homes that don't have Wi-Fi or homes that have sort of spotty Wi-Fi can use these hotspots, and the kids are saying that they work really well. And now the district just got a bunch of them, so we're able to let them out to any family that needs them right now, which is really great. Not all of our faculty have access to high-speed Wi-Fi and technology at home. So that's been another challenge, is providing our paraprofessionals, our teachers, our security guards with the technology that they need to also be engaged in this.
I see. And finally, is there any news about summer school?
There is, sort of. It's happening in some way or form, shape or form, but we don't really know how or where. I'm assuming it'll be online, and as usual, seniors or kids about to graduate will be prioritized. So there'll definitely be some summer school. I'm just not sure where or what at this point. But they're going to share information about that pretty soon. Unfortunately, I think all of the fun summer programs, the jobs, the arts programs, the language programs, the acceleration programs are probably not happening. But there will be some sort of credit recovery option for kids who need it. That's definitely happening.
Right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Ms. Klafter. I really appreciate the time you've given us today.
Yeah, great talking with you. Thanks so much for having me.
And that's it for this episode. We'll be back with more COVID-19 related information shortly. You've been watching Coping with COVID-19. For SFGovTV, I'm Chris Manners. Thanks for watching.